2019 marked a shift in Hasbro's Transformers. I just realized you can see the shadow of my hand. While the previous toy lines had been Generation 1 based, they were not attempting to replicate the exact designs of G1. They were less afraid to put their own spin on things. 2019 still kept some of that, but it marked a major shift to G1 cartoon accuracy. But before we got, G1 cartoon figures like Cliffjumper here, we got Cybertronian figures. In 2019's War for Cybertron Seige toy line. And today we are going to be looking at Ultra Magnus. Now, if it wasn't clear, I am not necessarily going for the best of the best figures here. I am just going for really one figure from each line, with the exception of Studio Series, because Studio Series has evolved a lot. And I'm not doing SS86, because SS86 is basically just these guys, again. Literally, Cliffjumper was just repainted and thrown in the SS86 line. So I'm not going to be covering that line in this look back through the ages. But yeah, so we are taking a look at Ultra Magnus. Now, because these are not entirely G1 cartoon, there is, some diversity. Like Magnus here. Magnus's vehicle mode is based off his Robots in Disguise 2001 incarnation, but with G1 colors, basically. At least for the vehicle mode. And let's go ahead and take the multitude of weapons he has off. I could not find his missile launchers for this video. Yeah, so let's just set all of this off to the side for now. You can see his Magnus head in there. Yeah. But, still, this is a really good, really nicely greebled and detailed truck mode. Got these nice tires, some nice greebling all over him. If I can compliment the War for Cybertron trilogy on anything, it's the greebling. Especially on the Seige figures. Seige figures had a lot of it, nice sculpted detail and greebling. If you guys don't know what greebling means, it's basically just extra details like this that are not required, but help it look good. But yeah. See some nice transparent blue with some silver painted behind it, which is really cool. Got some Gatling guns or miniguns or something in here. Molded in headlights, I guess. Yeah, mine doesn't sit fully flush, but that could be how I have the arms in and everything, so that could totally be on me. But let's go ahead and remove the trailer and focus on the base robot. We will come back to the trailer here in a minute. So this is Ultra Magnus, technically. One thing that's been done since Generation 1. Okay, history. Back in Generation 1, the Transformers figures were licensed by Hasbro from Takara, taken from Hasbro's Diaclone and Microchange toy lines. Optimus Prime was originally Battle Convoy. However, Battle Convoy had a different trailer. Like, there was another version with a different trailer that was a car carrier, and the Convoy could connect to said trailer. that figure with the car carrier trailer would become Ultra Magnus. Meaning the cab was a white Optimus Prime that, connected with its trailer to become a bigger super robot. Now, because of that, it has kind of become standard that when an Optimus Prime toy comes out, it gets repainted white into Ultra Magnus, but technically that is not the case here. This figure was not Seige's Optimus Prime repainted. It was designed to look like Optimus, but it was entirely different other than the head. And yeah, so you can see there's not too many new details revealed if you remove him from the trailer. But yeah. Anyway guys, let's get down to transformation. Now, you're going to want to kind of split the arms, bring them out like this. Rotate the body 180 like this. Bring the heels down. Untab the legs and bring them down. You're going to want to take this section right here and slide it. Make sure you have everything lined up, and then slide it up on a slider that honestly looks a lot like a spine. I really like that detail. Then slide it back. Now you're going to want to come in here and open this. Bring the Optimus head out and see some nice detailing even in here. Granted, that's all the detail you see right there. It's just the other side, but still. Go ahead and bring it up. Tab it in. Bring the shoulders in. Bring the arms down. And there you have the base Ultra Magnus robot, which is designed to look like a white version of Optimus Prime. Because G1. So, let's get some nice look on the details. You can see them copying the leg vents Optimus has, with a lot of nice greebling detail. Seige also went for a lot of battle damage, like, if you can look right here. This, made to look like a lot of paint wear exposing metal. However, it wasn't very consistent. Like, his thighs right here. The only portions in robot mode you'll be able to see that have, the weathering is the thighs. But still, has some nice detail. Autobot symbol, because he is an Autobot. The chest details that we saw before. A cod piece that's meant to look like Optimus's. And Optimus's head. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is actually just the Seige Optimus head. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if that's what it was. However, at the same time, I don't think it is. Because, the Seige one was glued. This one is screwed. How do I know that the Seige one was glued? Because while transforming him, mine's face popped off. And I've never been able to find it since. I need to buy a new Seige Optimus. But, yeah. So now we can bring in some of the weapons. He comes with 2 of these guns. They're the same mold, just mirrored. I got some nice paint inside the barrels. And he can hold them. He can dual wield these, which I like giving these guns to the white Optimus base robot mode. I don't know why, I just do. And saving this big cannon for Ultra Magnus mode. Speaking of which, he can hold his big cannon in this mode as well. The peg is a little loose. That problem is not fixed when you put the armor on, because these are the same fists. Yeah, again, he had rocket launchers on his shoulders, but I don't know where those are. And you can also combine the weapons in multiple different ways. You have 2 ports on each side of the gun. You got a peg right here, and of course the handle. So if you want, you can, plug the guns on like this, if you want that going on. If you want them... How I combine the weapons is I plug them into this port right here, like this. And you've got that. If you want them up higher, you can. If you want them, upside down, you can. The choice is really up to you. It's the only limit is your imagination. But yeah, so now on to articulation. The head is on a ball joint. You can get full 360. A little bit of wiggly waggly, wiggly waggly. He can look up a little bit. Truly not a lot. The shoulders can rotate a full 360. They're on universal joints, unlike Stinger, who had ball joints. And ever since 2019, they have kind of moved away from using ball joints, which I think, because ball joints loosen up very easily, and the universal joints don't. So yeah. But anyway, because of the universal joint, they can do full 360. They can go up that far. You do have bicep rotation. Arm or elbows, you can get 90 degrees of bend and a wrist rotation. You can, coming down to the waist, you get waist rotation. Legs can kick forward that far, back that far, outwards. He can do the full splits, or he could if these tabs weren't in the way. He has thigh rotation, 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and Seige introduced this as standard articulation, ankle pivot, which is nice for getting him in some of those, poses. Yeah, Seige is the first toy line to make ankle pivot standard. You can also move the heels if you want. But yeah. For comparison, here he is with Earthrise Cliffjumper. As you can see, he is quite small. And here he is with Studio Series 96 Hot Rod. 95, I believe, actually, Hot Rod. So, no one buys this for the White Optimus. You buy this for Ultra Magnus. So let's get him down into that. So, first thing you're going to do is collapse the hips, or not the hips, the shins in. Slide the chest forward and bring the front of the truck back down. Again, exposing the nice spinal detailing. You want to open his chest and flip his head back in. Then you're going to want to come down to his crotch, flip his crotch down, rotate it, flip it back up. And you have the base robot all ready for combination, or whatever. So next, you're going to bring in the trailer. You're going to pop these sections out all the way. Go ahead and lift this up and take these sections out. You're going to want to pop these sections out and split the legs. For this section, which will obviously be his chest, which has a lot of dust in it, you're going to want to fold this section in. Take this section, fold it up, and then just set it off to the side. This section, you're going to want to fold this in, rotate it like this, and collapse it. I'll do it again. Flip, bend, collapse. These sections, you're going to want to untab them. You don't want to wrench them apart like this. You're going to want to basically do that. You can go ahead and take these sections, fold them up. And then you have his giant shoulder stacks ready. These sections, you're just going to want to take this section with the nice battle damage and open it up. Now, one thing I wish they had done is, you see all this nice battle damage right here? This goes on the inside. This is the part you'll actually see. Why didn't they do this on this side? Ugh, that's the only thing that kind of irks me. Anyway, so let's get them combined. You want to take this giant boot. You're going to slide his leg in like this. Slide the leg in like this. And as you can see, he's already getting tall. Next, you're going to want to take the shoulder stacks and slide them on. Need to move my camera back so you can actually see. Take the shoulder stacks, slide them on. Take the forearm pieces, slide them on and close them up. Slide this on and close it up. You're going to want to come to the back. Take this section. This little bit right here is going to clip onto his spine. To clip that on. And bring it down. And tab it in. And if you had the shoulder launchers, you'd place them on the shoulders. And there you go. That is Seige Ultra Magnus in his full Ultra Magnus-y mode. And yeah, he looks really good. You can definitely tell he's Ultra Magnus, which is good. You always want to be able to tell if something is something else. Yeah, he looks a lot like the G1 Ultra Magnus, which he should. That's what he's based off of, mostly. So let's go handheld and take a look at that face sculpt. Which is nice. I do have a little bit of a paint scuffage in the eye. Which, yeah, it doesn't look great, but whatever. You know, he is very dusty. I really should have dusted him off before this review. But, you know, yeah. He's not bad. Yeah, turning him to the side, he is very thick shoes, a nice thick ass, and a nice thick back. But this is all armor, so, you know. And also here you can see what I mean by all that battle damage being on the inside of the forearm. And no, you can't just swap them around. I've tried. It doesn't work. Yeah, you also have some of that nice damage on the feet too. You got the wheels. One thing that is slightly confusing is his ankle or his feet are molded to be slanted, which was standard on most other figures until Seige. Seige, brought along the ankle pivot to replace that. However, he still has the ankle pivot. He still has ankle pivot, but his feet are also molded to be slanted, which is really freaking weird. Anyway, articulation. Articulation is mostly the same. The only difference is you can't kick the legs back as far, and you get a little less knee bend. Other than that, articulation is exactly the same. So, for comparison, we are going to bring in Cliff Jumper. So it looks nice, it looks nice. And we are going to bring in Hot Rod. Hot Rod! But, yeah. Now, you can store the weapons in this mode. You got port right here, port right here, port right here. You got port in his ass, port up here. Yep, ports up here. You got ports over here, so you can you can arm this guy up. They did this because they also were doing the weaponizers that, you know, split into multiple weapons, and you can arm up your other figures. They've kind of stopped doing that, but they also haven't because of the Junkions and now Armorizers, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. But, yeah. But, anyway, guys, that has been my review of the War for Cybertron Seige Ultra Magnus. All in all, I like this figure. I do kind of hope to eventually get my hands on the Commander class Ultra Magnus. But until then, this figure is a nice, not replacement, but a nice stand-in. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe. Stay tuned for some of my other videos. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.